Yo, g'day, welcome, AOS Coach. Hope you're all ready to have some exciting reveals. It is the Nova stream. You can see that side up here somewhere there. Geez, I'm struggling already. We have the Nova, which is an event over in America. They will be doing some live reveals of some things of obviously Warhammer. You can see I'm struggling. Like, it's too early for me to be doing this. Actually, it's 10 o'clock. I'm completely lying. But welcome everyone. Hello. We are going to be watching the live stream. So when the Twitch stream happens, I will actually go over to the video. We can watch what the reveals are going to be. And in between, traditionally, there's like a 5 to 10 minute gap where they'll upload something on Warhammer Community. They'll discuss it, and we'll discuss. We'll discuss here. We'll have a chat. We'll have a laugh. We'll have some predictions. G'day, hello, welcome. So I will have the stream up. There it is. And when it all goes live, we can kind of jump back and forth. So yeah, good times back. Cool. But hello, welcome, g'day. I do have some time to fill in. I've got some theorying. We've got plenty of stuff that's going to be showed off on today's stream. I believe there is at least 5 things, possibly more. I've got some, I put on like my little Inspector Gadget kind of costume, and I kind of did some investigating, and I've got some crack ideas on what they could possibly be. But I'd love to hear from you as we go through the stream. What is, there you go. It's going to be live soon. Very good. Very nice. But I'll just shout out everyone. Hello, welcome, g'day. Good to see everyone. I'd love to see where you're all from. It is Australia, so it's 10 o'clock on a Thursday for me, which is actually pretty nice compared to some of these bizarre overnight streams. But I do want to show you up in a second. So I've been doing some investigation, and I've been trying to work out what these reveals are going to be. And I'm going to get your help. I want you to show me a little bit of what you think it's going to be. But hello, everyone. I'm seeing a lot of people in there. Robbie. Seeing a lot of people here. So I'm seeing Bear in the chat. I'm seeing like so many cool people. Why am I... I was in my Gits costume. No, I had a feeling. I was going to be. I was going to do some Git stuff, but I'm kind of feeling a bit disappointed. I'm feeling like that stomp, that foot image, that that possibly might not be Gits. So let's see how we go. Got some theory crafting here. It's not theory crafting if I know the answers. Well, it's theory crafting if I'm under an NDA, and if I'm under an NDA, it means that I got to pretend that I don't know. So we'll see what comes up. Who knows? But what I want to do first, so g'day, welcome, hello. It's nice to see everyone. I do want to show an image that I kind of prepared earlier, just to kind of think about, well, what are we looking at potentially? And here are some of the images that we know already. And we can kind of try to unpack to uncover what is going to happen. So first things first, what do we know is coming up? So we know that this particular reveal is going to be 40K. We know this reveal is going to be Age of Sigmar. We know it's going to be Horus Heresy, and it's going to be Underworlds. They're the 4 things they've told us they're going to be revealed. So we don't know if it's going to be more than one item, but we know for a fact that at least 40K, Sigmar, Heresy, and Underworlds we revealed. And the image that I'll bring back up in a sec is we've got 5 images. We've got 5 images you can see in the top left-hand corner. I have some rough predictions. I was chatting with Discord a little bit earlier to kind of get their ideas as well, to kind of hear what they were thinking about. And we've got a rough idea. We kind of know a little bit, but you'll see there in the center a little bit of a boo-boo actually while I was sleeping. So while I was sleeping, Warhammer Community accidentally miscorrected or misposted an article that was quickly deleted, but it did reveal something called the Blood Pellet Hunter. So we can only assume that's ogres, and from the text that I was able to obtain, the text said ogre stalks the deadliest game. Now, one thing we did notice as well is that the ogres did lose their man-eaters. So if you have got a keen eye in the Games Workshop website, you will notice that the man-eaters for the last 6 months have been kind of last chance to buy, haven't been restocking them. They're Forge World models. So if we are getting some new sculpts, it very much could be the man eaters, or a new variant of the man eaters. Something other you might have noticed is I'll bring up the image actually, because it kind of might tie into this. So we've got in the bottom right hand corner, we have a foot. So obviously that could be a foot of anything. And if you look at the sides of the foot versus the shield, you know, one would quickly assume that is a mega gargant or some variety of a gargant. And for the keen-eyed people, if you've gone onto the Warhammer Games Workshop site in Australia, in the UK, in a few other countries, I noticed that the mega gargants, in fact, all of the gargants, actually weren't listed on the website. So does that mean that gargants and ogres are getting rolled in together in some type of soup book that we've seen in like orcs and things like that? Or are we about to see a dual box when it comes to ogres versus sons? Or is that foot completely misleading? Are they just trying to show us a foot that could be something else? Gits does have feet, and they do have of course they've got feet. They've got a gargant. They've got the ale guzzler gargant, which is just a variant. Always good old coach filling in. I'm not trying to fill in time, Gareth. Chill out. We're talking potentially what we could possibly see. Yeah, 100% triple herbs. They have been off the site for a while now, which is quite odd. So are we about to see a Mightier is Rightier type book? Are we just going to see a dual box? Are we going to see gargants versus ogres? Are we going to see something completely different? Got to cheer for me if you go to AEW. Absolutely love my AEW. Clearly the foot of Gork is becoming an endless spell. That could be possible. Will we see a terrain piece, an endless spell? A lot of people talking about the Root King. Now, I don't quite know what we're talking about here. Maybe there is something called the Root Kings. But what do you think is going to come up? I'm going to bring up the stream. I'm going to bring up, the image again. And I've got some ideas. I've got some theories. So we're T-minus about 8 minutes before the Warhammer stream goes live. Cool. So we're at T-minus before the Warhammer stream goes live, and you got the 5 images up the front. Now, what we could possibly see, if we look at the top left, I'm thinking possibly we're looking at, so it's very much a Khorne Space Marine, that kind of aesthetic. So we can only assume that there's going to be something World Eaters, whether it's I'm not close to 40k. So is this going to be a full re-release? Is this just a new unit? Maybe you people who are closer to 40k can work that one out. But certainly that screams to me the World Eaters, the Space Marine Chaos Khorne variety. Next one up, you got that top middle, or not top, the left middle. That one is a big question mark one for me. That one feels very Underworlds. There is an image that I want to share with you as well. So look at the image now. Look at that that middle left image, and then look at this. You see the little feathery type of backing. So shout out to the Discord on that one. That was a good little one. That's, by the way, a rumor mill from who knows when. Hello. So very much possibly looking at something that's Warcry related. Does feel very Gurry. The middle one is feeling very Slaves to Darkness for me when I look at that particular one. And I know there's been some leaks and there's been some images from the Slaves to Darkness book. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, we are expecting that in winter, which I believe is, well, if it was Australia winter, it'd be right now. But if it's the America, UK winter, I can only assume it's somewhere around November to December. So could we be seeing something like the Exalted Champion? It very much does have that kind of aesthetic. The top right, the middle right, so we got some 40k, and obviously they've been doing a lot of work on the League of, is it Volturnus, the not squats, the 40k KO formerly squats. And there was some imagery, especially in the art of a particular League of Volturnus or whatever it is. So, but the other one is the ogre, and I don't know if that right hand side is going to be a is a gargant. Is it going to be an ogre? But that's the kind of reveals that we're looking at. I might actually big screen that. Before we go live, I might just do a quick sound check that you all can hear the sound. So just double checking that you can hear the sound. All right. I'm going to assume right now we'll go on mute. Cool. So until the stream goes live, we'll have that up. I assume that you go hear the sound. You couldn't hear the sound? All right. Bear with me while I fix that one up. So I'll just stop sharing that one. Cool. All right, no problems. But in the meantime, let me know while I quickly sort that one out. What do you think is going to be? I did have it quite low. Let me try to put it back up. Yeah. Do you want to give me a sound check? Can you all hear that? All right. All right, cool. All right, no problems. I will just quickly fix up the sound and to make sure that when they actually go live, I can certainly hear it. I'll just remove that from the stream and I'll. Cool. But in the meantime, let me know. Thank you everybody in the chat who's just letting me know they can't hear the sound. I definitely want to be able to hear sound. I definitely do want to be able to hear the sound when the video stream goes live. How's that? I feel like you guys are just making me dance. Okay, interesting. All right. You still can't hear that? All right. Odd. Okay. All right. Bear with me. Let me sort this out. But in the meantime, let me know in the comment section what you are thinking. What you think what you think is going to be revealed, because we need to sort that out in a couple of minutes. A fan? There's no fan. There's no fan. I assure you that one. I'm sure there's no fan. Not even an only fan? Morning, people. How's that? Perfect. All right. All right. Talk about freaking me out. I've just turned it off. All right, I've just turned it down. Cool, freaked out. We have the sound good to go, and we're so excited. We have got the porn person in the chat. Awesome, thank you very much. Shout out to the random porn thing. Cool. So in the meantime, what have you thought about what is coming up? What do we think in the chat here? Sam thinks Malarian is coming. Thoughts and prayers on that one. Autumn's thinking it's going to be a Sons and an Ogre book. Morning, Max. Good to see you. The announcement GW issuing an apology and removing Gargants from the game. That would make me cry. Please don't do that. I think Gargants definitely could have a small update. The Mightier is Rightier, I think, is definitely the wrong approach. I hate the fact that the Gargants have a domineering presence on objectives, and I would love them to be more offensive and less just sitting on objectives. And whether they bring in a Kragnos type degrading profile as their wounds kind of suffer, whether that is not the first allegiance ability, and they're definitely more combat orientated. Like Gargants don't do what I would love them to do. So I appreciate they feel like a bad time. And I love my Gargants. I'd hate to see them removed. I do think they definitely need to be fixed and updated. Gilbert thinks we're going to have Gargants and probably Gloomspite as the other destruction book. And we do know for a fact we are going to get multiple destruction books. So we've had Lumineth and we've had Zench coming up as or Zinch, depending on how you want to pronounce it. They've obviously come up with Cataclysm. So the next two books, according to the roadmap, are both destruction books. So we know 2 destruction books are coming and a Slaves to Darkness book is coming this year. Whether there's going to be other surprises and things, who knows? I certainly, if I knew, I couldn't tell you. But I guess we'll just have to strap in and wait and see, because the live stream will be starting very shortly. Very shortly. New destruction faction, yeah, possibly. A lot of people are talking about what they call the silent people. So the silent people, possibly. I would be surprised if it was a new destruction faction, purely because we have. It's very much feels like a. I'll just turn them down for a sec. It definitely feels like that. It is an Age of Sigmar, get all the books out, while 40k is getting a lot of the new models, which they are silent but deadly. Yes, Sickarth, they absolutely silent but deadly. But some people are claiming that the silent people are death. So some people think they're destruction, some people think they're death. All we know is that the silent people are based in Gur. Who knows? Going to be opening a destruction Stormcast chamber for all those redeemed grots, or the redeemed Oryx, and whatever you want to do. Yeah, very possibly autumn. There may be an updated roadmap to cover what's going to happen, and maybe give us a lead into what's coming up in 2023. But traditionally, these types of roadmaps, these types of streams are usually showing what's coming up in the next, say, 3 to 4 months, usually at most. They don't usually show things that are too far out. But hey, if they show a roadmap, I wouldn't say no. What else we got here? I hope Gargants will be visually different. Look, I think one thing for me I would love to see is more varieties of the Mega Gargants, whether they bring up upgrade sprues, whether they give some wizards or some priests or something else. I don't know what it might be, but I think some more variety to the Gargants would be awesome. Pushing back the Slaves to Darkness release to punish the leakers. I mean, if they were going to do that, they probably would have punished the Nighthaunt people as well, who leaked the whole battle tome like a month before the book dropped. But hey, I actually wouldn't. That'd be sad. I know there's a lot of people who play like Legion of the First Prince, and those people, I know they've been a little bit nervous recently because of like, oh, what's going to happen to the faction? It's technically in a supplement book. It's in that Broken Realms Be'lakor book. I want that sub faction kind of solidified ASAP. Given as well, 40k at the moment has a lot of chaos demons. These are new battle tome or codex or whatever it is. Beasts of Chaos, yeah, good old Beasts of Chaos. Give them a new book. Wouldn't mind that, but they're doing pretty well. They're doing quite well in the meta right now. So their White Dwarf supplement worked really well for them. So I think Beasts of Chaos are all right. Hey, the corn content. I think my hat. So I got into the spirit of the World Eaters. Given that I have a corn hat, I'm sure you're all picked up at that at this particular point. But how about Karajan get another 3 boats? I think KO, I'd love to see a bit more. If it was going to be KO, look, let's be real. We got 2 battle tomes coming up probably very soon, or at least to be announced pretty soon. And there's no other order books coming. But hey, that doesn't mean KO couldn't get some new upgrades. I'm just going to quickly check. You guys could still hear.
Normally it's in our daytime, but it's the middle of the night. I snuck out of a house full of sleeping tropes to come and talk Warhammer with all you lot.
Yeah, these poor UK crew. Shout out to Adam and shout out to Eddie. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning for them in the UK. So I don't get paid enough to do that stream. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've done these before, but cool. Glad. I just the last thing I want to do at this particular point is but I'm feeling a bit nervous, a bit pessimistic, a bit excited. I'm like a bit of a mixing pot at the moment because I am a Gits player. You might see them up there, all my shelves of Gits. I also play Suns. I really need to work on how to do the reverse stuff. I've got Gits and I've got Gargants. So if one of those two get a new book, I will be excited. I'm coming to the LVO, which is at the end of January. So at the moment, it's all about Stormcast. But who knows? Maybe a new Gits book would get me over the line, and I'll go bring them to America. What else is there going on? No other books that we know. And that's the key, right? There's no other books that we know about. That doesn't mean that there isn't going to be something they might release in between the Destruction books and the Slaves book. But we have seen as well this year, especially, all the books have been tied to a battle box. So we've had, no book is, I don't think from memory, no book has come out that hasn't been tied to like a 2-army battle box as well. So who knows? Maybe we're going to have Destro versus Destro, or maybe something completely else coming. Thanks, Kenny. If you had a beard, I'd compliment your beard. I don't know if you have a beard or not, but thank you, much appreciated. The new ogre tone would definitely be something that I would back. It could be a flying food truck. Cool. That would be fun to move your soup pot around. A new butcher and a slaughter. Yeah, I think the ogres, definitely the dad bod ogres. Some of those sculpts are very old and they're resin. Yes, Skaven, don't at and quote me saying that your kits are older. I get it, but there's certainly some ogre stuff. There's certainly some ogre things that I'd like to see updated. And I think especially with the man eaters kind of being reduced from the website, it's only a good thing that hopefully in the new battle box, we have been seeing like a minor hero with a bunch of troops or things like that. So it could be some new man eaters. It could be a new slaughter master. It could be a new butcher. It could be something completely brand new. This blood pelt hunter, which we saw from a leak, which I'll just show you again. There you go. So there was a little a tweet that came out a little bit earlier. So that's all the evidence that I've gathered. There's clearly a lot of chaos coming up. There's clearly going to be there's some type of Gargant, or at least something alludes to a Gargant. There is 2 destruction battle tomes that we are likely to see that are yet to be announced. And there are the images that are tied to the Nova Open. You can see in the top corners. But hey, the stream should probably kick off pretty soon. And the way that they've done this in the past is they'll do one reveal. I'll just turn them off slightly.
So my secret shame is that.
Cool. Traditionally, what they'll do is this is all being revealed at the moment live at Nova. So at the Nova, there's a convention, and they'll be doing this as a live show, everybody. And then the minute that they start showing, then these guys can show off the one of the pieces of content. There's usually about 5 to 10 minutes of discussion across each of the assets. So they'll do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and this will be over in about an hour, maybe just over an hour. But that's traditionally how it's been. And we can talk about what's revealed after the video goes live and they show it to us. Then it's usually updated on Warhammer Community. So they'll often have images and different things that you can look at as well. So if you want to get a deeper... If you want to get a closer look and things like that, you're welcome to either load up Warcom, or we'll load up Warcom as well. So, all right, I'm just trying to keep an eye out and listen to what they're saying to make sure that when they are about to go live and they're about to show one of the videos, we'll bring it up as a full screen. I'll shut up, we'll listen to it, and then let me know in the comments what you're thinking and if you like it, if you don't like it. What do people want? Want a new butcher and a slaughter master? Absolutely. It's okay. And watch you in the upside down. That's odd. Cool. Gits making up a Gargant in trench coat. I'm okay with that. Huds, yeah. Yeah, GW has definitely tied a lot of this stuff to those boxes, which unfortunately means that it's a bit of a delayed release because the battle tome takes a couple of weeks after the box, then it takes another couple of weeks to FAQ, which unfortunately has a rolling impact to the tournament scene. So I'd love them to speed that up somehow. All right, they're probably close to doing something. 3 Gargants hiding up as Archaon. Yep, I'm down with that. Nurgle didn't get a box when the book came out. No, you're right. No, you're right. But I'll unmute myself. We have the comment of the century, Space Gandalf. Yep, love it. What do we think? What do we think? So that is the 40k. That's the KO or the squats or what they call. Is it the League of Volturnus, League of something? It's basically dwarfs in the sky. There you go, Voltan. There you go, the League of Voltan. So there we go. We have a whole bunch of. Am I still silent? No. Am I the Silent King? I'm all good. Yep. Cool. Yeah, so we've got Fire Slayers in space for people who I like them. I think they're quite cool. I don't play 40k, but I think someone who I did play 40k back in the ye old day, and knowing the squats, knowing the space dwarves of the back old day, I know they've had a long following and people who have wanted them to kind of return. Again, am I going to play this? No, I don't play 40k at all. Will I look at this for bits? Absolutely. There might be some interesting bits that I might borrow for a KO army or some type of technology focused Dawnbringer Crusades, if that's the type of thing. Yes, Yawn brings some AOS, but hey, let's get it out of the way early. Let's build up to the more exciting stuff, which is going to be the Underworld and obviously the AOS stuff, which we all know we're here for, and it's what brings in all the crowd, right? It is an early access box, Red. So it looks like much like Sisters of Battle. Did Sisters of Battle, when they got re-released, they had like an early access box or a box where they had all the models in a kit with the codex, and then like a couple of months later they might have released the other part of the army. It was like before Christmas and after Christmas. So maybe they are going to have a similar kind of release strategy to the Sisters of Battle. But hey, again, I don't play 40k, so I might be completely missing this up. But yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so they've followed this similar, right? Sisters, Black Templar, Chaos Knights, Orcs. I think Sisters of Battle though had like a 2 boxes. So they had one pre-Christmas, they get all your Christmas money, and then they had one after Christmas, so it was like your Boxing Day money. So but hey, I think they're cool. I think they're great. If you're a 40k player and you like the League of Volta, I would probably be excited, because you don't often see a lot of new factions in 40k. They traditionally you go deep and you get more Primaris Marines and you get more of the same. It's very rare that, like Sigma, we've had Cruel Boys added, we've had Suns added, we've had Lumineth added, we've had like KO, we've had so many armies added over the history of Sigma. They really haven't had a lot. So, or maybe I'm just not thinking about it. Like, I think of Tau, and then after that, it seems like it's been drip feed of not a lot, other than like reshuffling, and you got Grey Knights and whatever. But hey, what do you think? I think they're kind of cool. They're a bit nifty. Are you still talking about this?
Baird heads, not to be confused with Baird.
Yeah, they're still talking about this guy.
And then he obviously has the mass hammer.
Love all the runes. Love all the dwarf stuff. Yeah, like Vox saying, not a 40k player, but squats could get you into it. Hopefully, just to dabble. And look, I think the cool thing as well is if you do want to dabble into something like 40k, you've got Kill Team as well, so you can always build a small little faction, and it is what it is. And it's a little self-contained thing. If you ever want to expand upon it, awesome. If not, it's just something. Mechanicus are technically a new faction. I don't know. It feels like 40k has just been like splitting things out. So like they had Eldar, and then they split out Eldar to be like Yanari, but then you had Harlequins, and like they're all the same thing. When I started Eldar back in the like 2nd edition, Harlequins and Eldar and all of that stuff was together. It was like Eldar and Dark Eldar. So they just kind of just seem to be splitting out the faction and then like fattening up a little bit. But hey, I think it's neat. Shout out to the Rock there. They always have that amazing Rock pose. Yanari are dead, unfortunately. I don't know. I don't play 40k. It's not my thing. Yeah. How many 40k players are not going to put them on rocks to reduce the height so that there's no line of sight, or it makes it a little bit harder to see them? But I think it's kind of cool. I dig the little wolfy type of things on the helm, on the whatever that thing is, the backpack, I guess, when they go to school with their lunchbox and they got their school books in their backpack. I think they're kind of neat. They're not rocks, they're lifts. Yeah, they're lifts. It's funny because like they're meant to be short, but it certainly like does raise their profile up a little bit, and just carrying around those tactical rocks with them everywhere. But I think that's kind of cool. I'm not going to be playing. I'm not going to be playing this. I'm not going to buy it, but it's shortly neat. I wouldn't rat anyone who's thinking about buying this. This is kind of cool. I'm just going to quickly have a look at Warcom. I'm going to see if Warcom's got an article up yet, and we can always bring up. I'll buy them all. Scrooge is saying I'll buy. Yeah, I think that's the kind of cool thing, right? Is for the people who have wanted squats for a while, and like I still have my old Sisters of Battle. I still have the old Metal Sisters of Battle. So if I ever wanted to play 40k again, getting an update to the Sisters Codex, getting an update to the Sisters range would have been quite cool and quite powerful. And I know I probably would get excited. So for anyone who is a fan of squats, or maybe just hoping that, an influx of squats means that they're going to, I don't know, see a bit more diversity and Primaris Marines. I don't know, maybe your tournament has less Primaris Marines because people are getting squats, then fingers crossed. What is it? What am I saying? Could be cool kit bash material. Yeah, that's probably the big thing for me is, and it was one of the first things I saw when I saw the league come up, would be what kit bashing potential will there be for KO? And I think that would be quite cool. I don't imagine there'll be too much range crossover. Yeah, there'll be parts that you could use, but definitely some things. Maybe you want to get, I don't know, some different Arcanauts. Maybe those these troops here might be good alternative Arcanauts. But hey, they could be, yeah, definitely good kit bash material. Paint them blue and white and keep the transparent orange. Yeah. Do what you want to do. Yes, I am excited about Bathurst GT, which is next weekend. Good Twitch stream, by the way. Did well there. Crew, looking forward to seeing that. Is that hover technology they're using Heresy? Yes, I guess it's better than the old motorbikes. Like if you remember the squats back in the day, they were in like little Harley motorbikes as well. So come on, just get to something else. Sorry, I'm talking to the GW. Like, hurry up. Like, we've had enough of this. Great. Let's move on to something more exciting, which is AOS. Play all the games. Very expensive month for you. Yeah, it's always an expensive time, especially when you jump on these streams. Bill, I too am anxious because I want to see if it's going to be Gits or Gargants or both or what. Actually, I want to big screen that. What's this? What is this thing? Okay, that's certainly different. Some Sherpa-looking dwarf-carrying things. The 40K coach. I'd have a lot more followers if I was a 40K channel, but I couldn't care less. Move it. Yeah, I agree. Move it. Let's move it on. All right. Cool. And Caleb's over. You're actually going to Nova, so good luck to you. Especially if you're playing in the Caleb. You're playing in the Invitational, the Nova Invitational. Good luck to you as well. But how long can they talk about power armored clad? Yep. All right. Cool. I'll see how they're going.
One is carrying the great big plasma axe on his back. He's got all the spare ammo. You can imagine him kind of like helpfully passing the.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like it's like a heavy weapons team because that guy's carrying, or this one model's carrying the big axe for this one, and this is really struggle. I'm struggling here. Keep them talking. All right. I'm going to stop talking about this. I don't care anymore. All right, it's good. It's good. I like it. You've heard my thoughts. 40K KO, awesome. Good work. League of Volta, if you like it, awesome. But what do we think the other AOS stuff's going to be? I'd be curious to hear from you. I've already said if you've joined the stream live, I'll bring up some of the thoughts and some of the research that I'd kind of done leading into this. So first off, we have some of the Nova clues that we kind of lead into. So the Nova clues we've got here. So just to reintroduce this to everyone, in the top left-hand corner, we have 5 models that were tied into the preview articles. They've been kind of showing off. They haven't really showed off anything, but we have some silhouettes. We in the top right-hand corner, and then the bottom right-hand corner, we've had a couple of pieces of imagery shared on Twitter, maybe even on Facebook as well. And one's alluding to obviously chaos, but where the chaos is it 40K? Is it Heresy? Is it Sigma? Who knows? And then the other one is what appears to be a Mega Gargant foot, given the size of the weapons and the shields that are under or in parallel to the foot size. So we've got a corn shield as well and some stuff like that. So does this mean it's a Mega Gargant for chaos? Does this mean it's just a Mega Gargant in general? Is this just a complete is it just trying to throw us off and something else? You'll see the tweet there. That was a tweet that was accidentally posted by the Warhammer community site, which was quickly deleted, but a couple of keen-eyed people had kind of captured the screenshot. It was a dead link, so it didn't actually go anywhere, but it was leading to an article for the ogres. The Blood Pelt Hunter is what the text, I'm told, had said. So it meant to be deadly ogres that stalk the deadliest games. So they're obviously monster hunters. And that would make a lot of sense given that we are in Gur, and given where we are in Galais or Galette, however you want to pronounce it. They definitely could be out there hunting monsters, although it feels like a season too late. Last year was the season of monsters. This is meant to be the season of infantry. We also then have the roadmap, which is the we know that in autumn, which is where we are right now, it is autumn. I'm told it's technically winter here in Australia, but it's currently autumn in the other places of the world. We got 4 battle tomes that are due in this season. So we've got we got an order tome, which is Lumineth. We've got a chaos tome, which we know will be Zench. We have 2 destruction books that have yet to be revealed. So that is my investigation and what we kind of thinking. So Elias thinking it is going to be the ogres. They're coming to get ya. Zench bringing in more Zench. Yeah, Jeremy, bloody could be. It wouldn't surprise me. Shadow Gits and Shadow Ogres. What else have we got? Hopefully they get good. Ogres and Gits. I would love that. That would probably be the box that I would like. Yes, I'm a Suns player, but I don't need it. I don't really need. I mean, I'd love an upgrade sprue. Give me a like a wizard or a priest, or give me some other options. Give me some variety and rewrite Mightier as Rightier. Rewrite it. Rewrite the whole thing. It's just Gargants and more tribes. Yeah, very possible. Very possible. We've had a couple of Gits looking pieces. I think this week's rumor mill, the sickle type thing is very much a Gits thing. Actually, that just reminded me. So if you look at the hilts of the Gits, you'll actually see that in the current rumor mill. I just had thought about that. Yep, it's literally the same thing. Bring up the rumor mill, take this picture up. It's exactly the same. It very well could be an incarnate. It very well could be another incarnate. Who knows? But overall, I think the Space Dwarves are looking cool. A Wizard Gargant definitely would be cool for me. I would love even just an upgrade sprue, but I can't see them putting that into those battle boxes. It's just like, here's an upgrade sprue, which does make me wonder as well if it is Gargant, because those dual box armies where you get like one army versus another army, Arcane Cataclysm, for example, Zench versus Lumineth, you get a couple of troops and you get a couple, like a minor hero. But if they did that with Suns, well, what would that be? You're going to put a whole Mega Gargant into that kit? Going to give me a bunch of man crushers, no hero. It'd be an interesting concept if they did do it with Suns. But how are we going with the stream?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm quite a fan of just buying the odd random dwarf and painting them up. And
all right, they're still talking about Space Dwarves.
The question.
All right, let's keep going. What if they gave us a man crusher hero? That to me is what I would like. I would like a man crusher hero, which is a priest. So give me some parts. The only problem with the Man Crusher hero, and it would have to be a new kit as opposed to an upgrade sprue, is because the Man Crusher is such a mono-posed model. It doesn't lend very well to kit bashing. And I've got like 9 of them, and I've had to cut up arms and legs and just to kind of repose them a little bit. So the average hobbyist probably isn't confident or comfortable cutting up their kits. So yeah, Scrooge, look, the rumor mills are usually 6 months out, which is why I don't think it's Gits. It hasn't been a lot of indications to say it's Gits, but they certainly, especially the spiders, probably need more help than the Gargants. They're kind of doing okay. They're okay. Incarnate, Lance saying an incarnate made of raw magic. That is horrifying. If people whinge about Mightier as Rightier now, imagine if that came about. Yeah, we do. We do need a matriarchal Gargant. Some type of head of the family. I have six T-post Man Crushers, and they look which is another reason why I was excited about the possibility of even using the Avatar of Kane, the 40k version of the Avatar of Kane, because they're all the Age of Sigmar one. It's just like the T-Cross. It's just like they're all just walking around like that. That statue is it in Argentina, whatever it is. So yeah, let's get some variety. What is people saying? Leading into incarnate of a Gork or Mork. Now that would sell. Imagine that. What would that be? Did they show any models yet? Yeah, they just showed a whole bunch of the League of Volta. So for the last literally half an hour, all they've been doing is talking about the League of Volta. And so you see it on screen. So we know that at least the 40K box has been ticked. There could be more 40K, but we know that there's Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, and Underworlds to go. So there's no Blood Bowl, there's no Warcry, there's no Lord of the Rings, or Hobbit, or it's Middle Earth now. And there's no Old World either. So so all we know is it's Sigmar, 40K, Heresy, and Underworlds. So Christian, it was just a little nod. I looked at all my hats and I thought I would look. I'm a big fan of Corn. That spelling of Corn. I would. Do they have sponsors that need to drag out so long? No. What happens here and why this is dragging out way longer than normal, folks, is because this is happening live at the convention. So I've had the pleasure of being in a couple of these rooms. And what happens is that there's at NOVA, which is the convention they're currently at, there would be some live presenters demonstrating, showing off the product. They would have it on like a big screen. There might be some questions, but normally the questions get asked at the end. So usually it's them kind of just showing off a whole bunch of pictures and photos and videos. And there's actually people talking about this in real life. So as soon as the convention talk has kind of come to a close, so once they've kind of shared that with the community, they will radio in and tell GW to talk about the next one, which will be whatever's on the schedule. But given that the League of Volta is a big release, this definitely has gone longer than normally. It's usually pretty rapid fire. Usually it's like a video, 5 to 10 minutes of talk, then on to the next one. And it's usually like bang, 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 bang. But this is dragging a lot. And I'm struggling as a person who doesn't like 40K that don't need to talk anymore. But that's behind the scenes. That's how they do it. Cool. Yeah, they don't know. And being that this is a new army, being this is as basically a re-release or a relaunch. Oh, there we go. We have a. I'll bring this up for the 40K fans. It looks like we have a roadmap leaning into 2022-23. So Chaos Demons is either coming out or has come out. I feel like it's always. Oh, Gareth, I love you. You've got Chaos Demons in either now or about to come out now. Yeah, the League of Volta, which we know is coming in autumn. So I believe autumn runs up till the end of September or soonish. And then we have Imperial Guard, aka the Militarum, and we have World Eaters. So World Eaters will be coming sometime in winter. So. And then, yes, very much we have these rumored 10th edition. So I don't know if the World Eaters and Imperial Guard will get released and then you go into 10th edition and they lead you into 10th edition, or if there'll be something else this weekend. Thank you. I knew I'd heard a lot of chatter and I'd seen a lot of things around the Chaos Demon Codex, but I didn't actually know if it was out yet or not. So. There's stuff going on there, but happy days. All right, cool. All right, these are kind of chilling out. Let's see how we going.
Reveals. Raf, do you want to take us on to the next subject?
Oh, here we go.
A new warband for Warhammer Underworld.
There we go. So we've got our Underworld's warband. So we've now ticked the second one off. We have the Underworld's warband.
Of Drum, as you say, Adam. Brand new Warhammer Underworld's warband for Nethermaze. They are 3-character warbands, so they are towards the elite end of the spectrum. And we have seen some Khorne warbands before for Underworld. We haven't seen any since the very first season.
We've seen that right-hand side one. That one we've already seen. It's the two new ones, and
into the hex. These are a very different kind of flavor of Cornet Warband than the ones we've seen before, which have always been sort of based on the your kind of battle line units, whereas this is very definitely a kind of 3-character warband. So you've got in the center, you've got the priest.
Rodeo, yes, it is a 3-model warband.
His kind of fiery smith on the right, which we have seen that miniature before, but he's in this warband. And then on the left, I think is my favorite, which is basically a character which is well on his way to turning into a Korgoroth. So the swollen with the power of Khorne, probably not quite in the way that he anticipated, but you can already imagine that guy's going to be an absolute powerhouse of muscle and death in the game.
Yeah, I love you mentioned that he's on his way.
Yeah, okay, cool. So what do we think? What do we think? That is pretty neat. I kind of fell off Underworlds a long time ago. It felt like I was collecting too many cards and it kind of was a bit hard to kind of keep up with the meta. But from an AOS point of view, I've always enjoyed the models as alternative sculpts. And I've always enjoyed them as new champions and kit bash opportunities and just things like that. But I dig that. I really like the priest, and I showed off a little earlier. That is one of the rumor mill engines. So the one in the middle of the what appears to be a priest, or potentially a priest. You can see it's got that headdress, which was one of the rumor mills, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. I'll see if Warcom's got an article up, because often they'll follow up with the article and then show off some of the imagery as well. I'm not seeing Warcom updated just yet, or maybe it's just me. Yeah, that Radio, that's an interesting comment, because that was the first thing I noticed, that they were leaning into what appears to be like a Mayan Aztec kind of vibe, which is not something we've traditionally seen in the past. Normally, that type of aesthetic has been reserved for like the Lizardmen / Seraphon. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to call this out, Garrett. All right. Tomo, well done. Someone at GW realized that corn was first cultivated in Mexico. All right. I'll give you a clap there. Well done. Shout out there. That's a pretty good one. Do you reckon the rat ogre head would nicely go? I'm trying to bring up the imagery. I don't know if Warcom's updated for anyone here, but it's certainly usually what would happen is an article would come up for each of the individual releases. But given that it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and they already stuffed it up with that tweet, maybe they're being a bit reserved at the moment. But possibly, I would have to look at the model in closer detail when it comes back up or on Warcom. But very much could be. It could be a good conversion opportunity for a rat ogre if you wanted to go that route. Looks like Gareth looks kind of excited by that. But the priest is an interesting one, very different to the corn priest at the moment. Yeah. Bear's asking if the Nethermade stuff is a Chaos Shield in the picture. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure of that one. Here we go.
A stun attack, basically, so you can stop the enemy from doing all
parts of the game. I don't play Nethermaze, so you can obviously read the card and see what it does. But I don't know a lot of people who play Underworlds. It seemed like a game that I could play like a quick hour and just kind of get in, get out. But yeah, I personally found it was too hard to keep chasing the cards and kind of keeping up. But always great sculpts as well. Rivals is fun, Alan's saying, which is great. Corn was first cultivated in Bakersfield. Yes, Hudson. Shout out to you. Love it. One of my all-time favorite bands. Actually, I was just watching the Woodstock 99 documentary they just put on Netflix, and Korn was a part of that. So that was fun as well. The article is up for Volta, which is the league, which is great. So we've got Underworlds, and we've got 40K at the moment. We've got at least 3 images to go. If I remind you all, these are the images. So we've got 2 of the 5 at least revealed. And if people want to see more about, I'll bring this up actually so you all can see it a bit closer. So there you go. There is the 3 models in a much greater detail. But
really quite soon, right?
They are very soon. Again, this is a September release. The chat is told Chooseaxe, Adam. Chooseaxe.
There you go. They're coming in September.
Thank you. Yes, of course. And side note, not really relevance, but one of them lived inside the glove box of my car for about 6 months because I brought him into work to show what I'd done with the contrast paints, and he stayed there for ages.
Well, I mean, he's used to, you know, the depth.
Okay. All right. So we know that the Corn Warband is coming out in September.
Kind of half remembered afterlife somewhere in the realm of shade.
Quite so. Right. We are staying for a little while longer in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The more
all right. Sigmar's coming up.
We've got more Warhammer 40,000 and some Horus Heresy. So let's continue with this Warhammer Age of Sigmar video.
All right. Let's get hyped.
Have you been a victim of unjust destruction at the hands of rampaging Saurians? Do you wish you had a pair of big, strong arms to butcher your Skaven problem? For creature problems, great and small, call the Blood Pelt Hunter today. Main course service with no leftovers.
I think Chad has lost it over the poor old crowd.
What?
So we have now
on
seen,
that. What is that?
For,
all right. Right. Hold on. Here we go. What do we got here? All right. So we have the Blood Pelt Hunter. So we know it's an Ogre More Tribes kit.
For the ogres, this is a new plastic miniature.
Yep, it's a new sculpt. It's plastic.
Of the ogre tribes, basically. So he is a monster hunter expert. So you can see there that he's got an enormous great crossbow, which, you know, hits with the power of a ballista. He's also got like a variety of different weapons, including harpoons and all sorts of stuff. And all of them are basically designed to take out monsters. So if you're up against a kind of monster heavy army, which there are a lot of them around currently in Age of Sigmar, almost every army you face has got some variety of monster. This is one of your units to kind of deal with that threat at range, while the rest of your unit deals with the battle line and the squishier stuff. He's got an interesting trait for an ogre, which is that when he takes out a monster, he almost always takes a trophy of something. And the reason that's interesting for an ogre is that usually they eat everything, right? So it's incredibly rare for an ogre to decide not to eat a part of a thing. So the other ogres think he's a little bit weird, maybe for keeping things like the heads of some kind of saurian beast or the pelt of a bear to keep him warm, or antlers or something as a kind of trophy. But he doesn't care. He's a loner. That's his thing. And this guy is going to form part of your ogre More Tribes army.
Is it weird that I really love the pelt / head of that bear type?
All right. So what do we think here? What do we got here? So I'm going to keep up the screen instead of going to my ugly face, my ogre type face. I'll keep the big screen up so you guys can see. I'm seeing a lot of comments here. I'm seeing a lot of people thinking they like the model, but mostly don't like the head. I don't mind the head. It does look a bit weird. And to Killy McGee, yeah, you get range 6 inches because he's basically nearly blinded himself with all of the ribbon or tape or whatever he's using to bind the antlers to his head. But I think it is a bloody cool model. A lot of people, love the body and the pelt, not so much the head. The head doesn't look nice. People are not liking the head. It seems like the head is a no-go. I don't really mind. I think it's fun. It's a bit different compared to all of the bare-headed type of ogres that you've already got. But hey, as Rodeo said, there's going to be a lot of head swapping on this, and Ryan's excited because that means there's a potentially new Croxigor sculpt confirmed because it's on the back of the Blood Pelt Hunter, which is kind of cool. What do you think that would look like? The first thing that comes to mind is maybe the rules of kind of remind me a little bit maybe of the Beast Skewer bows from Cruel Boys. Is there going to be some type of monster scaling damage where it does X amount of mortal wounds? Does it have high rend, high damage? Maybe a low amount of shots? Is it going to be like Dorilia, where if it doesn't move, it gets 2 shots, extra damage against monsters? who knows what it's going to look like. I'd imagine this hero has 8 wounds, maybe. Oh.
Well, look at this. Little book of stories for the squishies. Well, I has got a real story. Behemoth was coming back, and the world was trembling, till the hammer god killed him stone dead with his tiny, cheating hammer. And now they think we're done, broken. But they is wrong, and we don't forget. King Broad's got a bone to pick with all the shiny squishies.
Is that King Broad? So it's an upgrade sprue. It's King Broad. That's King Broad. Hell yes, that's King Broad.
King Broad. He's a big boy.
He is. So this is literally the biggest character in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is King Broad of the Sons of Behemat, a mega gargant. If you have been following Age of Sigmar since its inception, since the battles of the Realmgate Wars,
yes,
you will remember
that was a removal.
King Broad.
That's a removal.
Was present during the Realmgate Wars when Behemat was slain by the God King, when the Celestant Prime, using Galmaraz and the power of Sigmar, basically killed Behemat.
Yeah, to the point that's in the chat. So Owen and Tomo are mentioning it is the same body as a Mega Gargant. So I don't think this is a new kit. This is more likely an upgrade sprue because it's the same legs, it's the same torso. That is, I'm seeing very similar parts. I think even that this arm bit is the same from a Mega. So it looks like the hand, the weapon, the head are new.
Rallying the other gargants to his cause.
Yeah.
He's effectively of the Sons of Behemat, but he's also a priest. So he's kind of surprisingly good orator.
He's a priest.
And the other Sons of Behemat follow him.
I'm not sure what's on the bar that sets.
Well, I mean, you know,
he's a priest. King Broad is a priest. All right, that's all right. Now I'm excited. So now you got my attention.
The model is spectacular. So it's based on the same core frame as the rest of the Sons of Behemat miniatures. A little bit like your knight, I suppose, in Warhammer 40,000.
Sure.
But this is a named character, and it's got all sorts of very cool stuff on it. So the most kind of striking thing, I suppose, is that dragon head. So you can imagine one of the ancient drakes, maybe ridden by a stormcast, thought they could take this guy out. Not so much.
Now it's a fancy hat.
Now it's a hat. He's also got the biggest hammer in Warhammer, made of a tree with what appears to be a stone column attached to it. And he's covered in creepers, which are a thing it's going to be introduced, which are basically little helpers for the gargants. And they do things like apply their war paint and probably, dentistry.
It sounds so wholesome.
I mean, I'm sure they're horrible little sketches.
All right. So for anyone who's followed along, King Broad is a hero. If you read the Sun's battle tome in the lore, which is probably like 5 of you on the chat, if that, there is a lot of stories about King Broad, and I won't ruin it. I want you to go and read it. It's just quite cool. But it's always been something that we've hoped that this would get a new model, and I never thought we actually would get one. But so it sounds like it is not a new model. So technically, you will still have to buy either, we don't know yet if it's just a pure upgrade sprue or if it's going to be a brand new kit that uses majority of the body of a Mega Gargant, but then has a different sprue that will use the head, or maybe it's a reboxing, or who knows? Because as I said earlier on in the stream, the Mega Gargants are not currently on the GW website, or at least in a lot of the countries. So maybe there is a reboxing. They're going to add this sprue in there, and relaunch the Mega Gargant kit with King Brod. Who knows just yet? But it's very, very cool. Red is very happy. It's excited. Guaranteed Sons gets the new tome. Yeah, so you can only imagine that Sons will get a upgraded book now. So we talked earlier about the 2 destruction books. It's very much assuming that Gargants will now get that second one, and it won't be Gits. Just because it has the priest doesn't mean it has the priest keyword. Yes, that's true. But to Bob's question, will that up the price? So that's a really good question as well. Will it be a separate kit, or will it be a big bundled kit where you can make your War Stomper, your Kraken Eater, your Gatebreaker, and King Brod? Or will it be sold separately? I think they're obviously the questions that that we Suns players are all asking. But yes, indeed, my poor Gits. But at the same time, I knew that if Gits got a new book, I'd be very tempted to take them to LVO, and I didn't really want to be carting around 140 stabbers to halfway around the world. So I am sad that Gits potentially won't get the book. But at the same time, I'm also a little bit relieved that I can wait a little bit longer, especially get out of this GV meta. Get out of this GV meta, which is not very kind to us, us Gits players.
So King Brod, the sort of priest king of the Sons
Yeah,
of Behemoth.
that kind of works.
Sort of a lovely. What a
but you can read about him in the Realmgate Wars stories if you want to kind of go back and remember the original kind of incarnation of him. He's quite a kind of popular character back then.
Yeah. So Jeremy, does this guarantee us? Look, it doesn't guarantee us getting a new book. To bring up your question, it could just be Curse. It could just be a new War Scroll, and it has the priest keyword and it has defined priest stuff.
Was basically like
or it could be a whole new battle tome, reworked Mightier Ridia, which could be more like Kragnos, who has a degrading profile as it takes wounds and it counts as less
which is only
on the objective.
7 years old.
Or it could be completely rewritten, like War Stomper Tribe.
There's a little bit more.
Oh, here comes more.
What about this?
We got the Slaves book. We know is coming in wintry time, which we can only assume is what, November, December-y. That screams to me. This screams to me. Give me your Christmas money, please. Games Workshop want it. So this will be probably out before Christmas. So good news for you if you're a Slaves player. What did we see? So we saw the new Demon Prince, and we know the Demon Prince is being rewritten. So sorry, not sorry, Corn Demon Prince. You're losing from what the leaks have shown us. You're not going to have that that halve the charge and run rolls near it. So, but you've also got an upgraded Chosen. Actually, I might just put this down. I'll hear what they're saying.
You can see in the middle of the army there, that is the Demon Prince we previewed previously, which is the multi-part, incredibly flexible kit with all sorts of options. You can build it as any of the Chaos Gods.
We've got Chosen, so there's the Demon Prince is going to have
Incarnation.
Yes, indeed.
And then the kind of meat of the box, I suppose, is that huge unit of Chosen. You can see at the front there, and these models are just phenomenally cool.
Every single one of these looks like they could be a character model.
So from memory, Chaos, the Chosen are are they a Forge World, not Forge World, Finecast at the moment. So getting an upgrade is great. I remember playing a lot of Chosen back in first edition Age of Sigmar. I kind of feel like they kind of dropped off a little bit. Minotaurs for Beasts of Chaos. Well, they're Ogoroids, so they're not quite Minotaurs per se, but who knows what crossover potential and is going to be with Beasts. But that they scream to me Ogoroids. They scream to me Ogoroids as opposed to Minotaurs. It's great to see more of the Ogoroids, as Paul's mentioning, because we are seeing more and more Ogoroids. We had the Thermitage, then we've had, can't think what the other one is. You had the other Ogoroid added, and now we've got another unit. So who knows? This might actually blow out to be a full army at some point. Yes, Hudson. Indeed, we are shocked that this stuff is going to be put into a box first. So it'll be in a box, and who knows how long it's going to take until it's released as separate kits. So hopefully, look, some of these boxes have been disappointing because, let's look at Arcane Cataclysm, right? A lot of you, probably if you were Lumineth players, already had Sentinels and Dawn Riders from previous boxes. So, you're probably not going to go buy the box just for a minor hero. But especially with these kits, right? I'm not a big fan of the Demon Prince in general. So if you want to get an updated Demon Prince, or you want a second Demon Prince, or a Demon Prince that better matches your chosen god, this could be good for you. A lot of people probably don't have Chosen, and you certainly don't have these Ogoroids in your army.
Now such an integral part of Archaon's sort of martial efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've seen these guys before, former warriors of destruction turned chaos.
They,
have a particular hatred for the forces of destruction under Gorka Morka, and are kind of now under the sway of Archaon with a desire to take back their ancestral homelands in the realm of beasts.
Will the Demon Prince rules be used for LVO? That's a good question. Ask the TO. If only the TO was in this chat. Ogoroids are the destruction race that got kicked out of the Alliance after the Bone Splitters destroyed the Empire of Gur. That makes me sad. I would rather than be in destruction. I feel like destruction needs a bit more of a boost. But what do we think of the Ogoroids? I actually really like them. That is something that would kind of get me into the faction. As for the Demon Prince, I do really like these alternative heads. First off, I hate the head that it currently has. I despise it. I hate that weird looking head that it's got. It feels like it's from Stranger Things. Don't like it. But these alternative heads, the Khorne head, the Nurgle head, the Zench head, and the Slaanesh head, all four of those alternative heads, I absolutely love. I think they are brilliant, and I think that's definitely a good reason on why I would want to upgrade my current Demon Prince, if I had one, to be one that's more aligned to my faction. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what other people think. I really like all four of those heads. And if you don't use them on your Demon Prince, I could see them possibly being used other parts of the army. So, and we do know the Slaves to Darkness book is coming. And yes, we do have the important tactical rock.
Yeah, it's a big one as well. So there's lots and lots of stuff in the Slaves to Darkness. In many ways, they are the kind of premier villains of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The Cruel Boys and the Nighthaunt and things like that will kind of claim that they're the villains, but we all know that Archaon is the true kind of evil mastermind of the Age of Sigmar. It also includes things like Be'lakor and his followers as well. So you've got the kind of full gamut of Slaves to Darkness, which basically encompasses everything within Chaos that isn't aligned to one of the various Chaos gods or a Beastman. So there's a lot of stuff in this book.
Awesome. Now, something to hopefully give people in the chat who are wondering when they might see the next battle tome or the thing they're excited for on the horizon. Here is the roadmap, sort of seeing us through to early 23 with the battle tome roadmap, which you can see next up is Disciples of Tzeentch, followed by Lumineth Realm Lords, and that's kind of like in the offing.
So there's nothing new here. I mean, we already knew that Tzeentch and Lumineth were likely to coming. We already knew that with the battle box with Arcane Cataclysm. We can only assume that. We knew there were 2 mystery destruction tomes, so they're now being revealed as Ogres and Sons. And we already knew Slaves was coming out. Technically, it wasn't a part of the roadmap. Parts of the book, like the index, were leaked. Yes, I think to Inquisitor as well, you know, the Corn Demon Prince from based on the leaks. Certainly the Corn Demon Prince has lost its aura. I can't remember how the other demon princes were kind of modified in the new book, or if we even saw those rules. But we already so none of these books are new to us. So by the end of, I guess, the year, everyone should have grand strategies, battle tactics between White Dwarf or a new. Oh, except Gits. Gits still don't have.
Horus is the first and favoured son of the Emperor. He's one of 18 demigods that were created to conquer the galaxy in the name of mankind. He embodied all of the best qualities that the Emperor himself had. He was an incredibly charismatic individual. He was a military genius, highly competent. The hosts of mankind would follow him literally into the gates of hell. He was put in charge of all of those armies when the Emperor retreated to Terra to undertake his own great work. The fates rested too heavily on his shoulders. The ruinous powers, the forces of chaos, looked upon this individual and they said, this is our opportunity, this is the weapon, this is the tool that we can use against the Emperor. And at the planet Davin, the War Master was injured and he was taken to the Davinite lodges, the temples, in order to be healed by the Davinite lodge priests. And it was during that ritual healing that chaos started to worm its way into his soul. He appeared to be the same, only he'd switched sides. He'd led this great rebellion against the Emperor. And then we get to a point 3 years into the heresy where Horus undergoes a transformation and experiences a literal and metaphorical period in the underworld. When he comes back, he's ascended. He's essentially the same model, the same design, the same character, but every single point of him has been rendered in a way that makes it look like he is swollen with the powers of chaos. It's bigger, it's darker, it's more powerful, it's more evil. There's a narrative, there's a story that is moving onwards towards its final destination, which happens at the Siege of Terra. Horus Ascended is the ultimate power-up for your army. He takes everything that's great about your army and magnifies it. It makes it more spectacular in battle, it makes it braver, it makes it more, frankly, demonic. It powers up everything about your army and it forms the ultimate centerpiece. Horus isn't the only Primarch to have ascended, and there's definitely scope for other Primarchs to go through a similar process, and maybe there's more models in the future that will do the same thing.
All right, so we got some horror stuff, which, okay, is kind of cool, I guess. Stream's being a bit weird at the moment. But I think what I want to bring up, though, instead is, so obviously Horus Heresy stuff, awesome, good work, Horus. But we do have on the Warhammer community site, if I just bring this up, bear with me. We do have some things on Warcom as well, so we can check out on the community site, and there are actually some previews up as well. Yes, interesting comment there from Goatman. Gits now is the only faction that doesn't have a White Dwarf or a new battle tome. So no grand strategies, no battle tactics, nothing special for us. We will be the only faction. So hopefully between now and then we get a new White Dwarf that kind of gives us that. But we do have some Warcom stuff here, so we can go in and see the reveal. So if you want to get a bigger, you want to replay that video, which is great. But if you want to get a better and closer look into our hero, if you want to look a bit more into detail, I imagine this is going to be. Gits got a book before. Yes, Gits did get a book, White Dwarf, before it was cool. Just unfortunately, just didn't have the battle tactics for 3rd edition. So sneaky that they forgot about us. Yeah, absolutely. A little bit sad actually, because it then means it makes our game just a little bit harder when we go to like a tournament or something. But it is a cool model, as we've already seen with the Ogre. Again, I get the feeling people are either going to be 3D printing, finding alternative heads, going into their Frost Lords or something, and digging out an alternative head for this. But you know, again, you probably imagine this will have both a melee and a shooting profile. I imagine this will probably do either high rend or mortal wounds. If I was making a prediction to this, probably long range, probably somewhere between. My guess would be like 24 inches, maybe 24 inches, or it might have two alternative shots. Like it might have like a ballista almost, where if you shoot at long range, it does high damage, but it's harder to hit. If you shoot at short range, there's a couple of shots and they're lower damage. But I do imagine this probably thing does some good stuff in combat as well. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Do we have the corn stuff yet? So they're just the Warhammer stream is just showing off more of Horus. So if you dig Horus, then you can go check that out. We do also have a look into Nethermaze. So if you want to look into the Underworlds and get a bit of closer look into this Mayan type of corn, yeah, it's kind of neat. It's kind of cool. Okay, we do have the priest keyword as well there, which is helpful. So will this particular model have some of the profile of a Korgorath, but maybe not necessarily all of it? I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, cool. Interesting. Have we had a refresh yet? And do we have the Suns box? Do we have the Suns just yet? No, not yet. All right, what's the stream talking about?
Worldbreaker itself looks even more menacing and chaotic than it did. The Talon looks even meaner. The whole thing is just awesome.
All right, nothing else really. What's chat said? You've got so with Gits, yes, absolutely. Sad trog noises indeed. Red. I am sad. My Gits don't get anything. So hot take: missile weapon crossbow does do missile attacks. Yes, absolutely. But you missed the hot take, which was maybe the mortal wounds or the higher end. So glad I could help you there, Gareth. Hoping for 2d6 damage. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that it could be like the Cruel Boys beast skewer crossbow. So it could be like that. Maybe a better profile. Depends. Like you don't want the profile too good, otherwise it'll be pointed too high. And if it's pointed too high, then do you take this versus like a Frost Lord, for example? And you don't want them to be competing too much, especially when you've got a book at the moment that doesn't break off into factions well enough. But hey, in the new book, it might actually be very distinct of having your dad bods, your Beastclaw Raiders, Gore Hulk, aka Rat Ogre material. Yeah, if people want to convert, I know you've mentioned this a few times, Killy McGee, but if you want to convert that into a Rat Ogre, you do you. Horus, yes, indeed, Horus. OBR, look, to be fair on OBR, like there was no indication that there was going to be any death. On the roadmap, there's been no deaths. The OBR got a White Dwarf. You get in line. My Gits still don't even have a White Dwarf update. Has a harpoon as well, so double missing. Yeah, it's probably got like a little missile weapon. It obviously has a big crossbow, and it probably does have an array of melee weapons as well. So depending on how you want to skewer your monster, I'm sure it's got a couple of options there. The art of the cover of Zench and IRL looked pretty awesome. Yes, it looked like, if I went back to the article, there is updated art. Good comment. I know some of the books didn't get updated art, and that made people upset. But it does look like we've got new updated art on both a Zangor Skyfire or an Enlighten on top. And we got the Dawn Riders. So hopefully that is enough to get Dawn Riders back on the table. It seems like it's been a little bit. Oh. That's cool. I dig
Uh,
that. If you like corn, and I like corn, but if you like corn, that's kind of cool. So if we go back to while they're showing off the corn models, which is more 40k than I needed in my Thursday, and I want to bring back this image. So we're kind of coming to an end, it seems. Maybe there will be more reveals, so I'm not going to jump off just yet. But we have the preview image at the top. We now know all 5 of them have been revealed. So the top, so from left to right, we have now these Corn Berserkers. So that is the Corn Berserkers ticked off. Your second one, which is that the Corn Nether Maze, the priest, that specifically is the priest model, but we know that we've got a Underworld's warband coming. You then have the middle one, which is the Slaves to Darkness. I believe it's the Exalted Champion, but at least it's an indication to Slaves to Darkness. The fourth one is the League of Volta, so that is that one mystery solved, the spaced Gandalf, I think, as someone mentioned. And then that fifth one, which people were thinking was the ogres because of the leaked Twitter post, which we know ogres were coming, that ogres are indeed coming. This is actually the sons with the King Broad image. So it looks like it's got those little funny things as well. But that is our a couple of rumor mills. I think we had that rumor mill solved. We have this rumor mill solved, and I believe there was another rumor mill which had a similar image, but it was essentially what's now hiding in King Brod's beard. And if we look at maybe like the what appears to be the Nova reveals, this was made up by one of our Discord mods, actually Pog. She had made up a little bit of a bingo card we can have a play around with to see, what did we kind of see? And we did see some new models, we did see some heroes, we did see some leaked STD stuff, so extensively shown off. So well done on the bingo card. It's in the Discord if you want to kind of see it. But I wonder if there's going to be any more. Like it's now been about 70 minutes. So usually we kind of cross things off and these things don't go too long. But
so it won't be too long.
Sometimes they do little teasers at the very end, and they just drop the mic and drop something that we weren't expecting or weren't announced, and there's more questions than answers. But we'll wait and see if there's anything else. But in the meantime, thank you for everyone who obviously joined in. I'm not shutting off just yet, just until the stream shuts off, then we'll kind of shut off, because then we know for a fact nothing else is being revealed. But everything that they've said they were going to reveal, the 40k, Sigma, Heresy, and Underworlds, has been all shown off. All 5 of those images have been shown off. Shout out to everyone in Europe and in the UK who have stayed up. Yes, very much. Look, if it has one shot hits on a 4, I don't see too many people taking this particular model. It needs like a Derilia type profile where at least if it doesn't move, it gets a second long shot. But we'll wait to see what the War Scroll looks like. King Brod, absolutely. So excited about King Brod being a Suns player, getting something, especially a priest, as we know King Brod is going to be a priest, which is going to be really cool. And definitely something that I'm going to need in my Suns army. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Now that Suns is revealed, did you know about King Brod and if you'd hit it well? So I guess, look, if I knew, I'd be under NDA and I still wouldn't be able to tell you anything. If I didn't know, I guess you tell me, did I seem excited? Did I know, or I do not know? I'll let you be the judge. It's certainly not like the last time we did this, where I literally got the Kronspine and the Thondia box literally half an hour before going live, and I had read the Thondia box, and I'm like, this Kronspine is hot, but I could. Oh no! So they're just doing a wrap up, but don't drop off just yet. I'm not trying to like bait and click you to kind of get all the views. They have been known to drop like a final release at the end of the stream, but it's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning for them, so they might just want to wrap up. So we'll see what they want to do. What else you got? Fingers crossed for Scryer and Vermin Lord upgrade sprues. Yeah, good luck to you. But did you enjoy this stream? I guess as we start wrapping things up, is this things that you were hoping for? Was there anything that maybe you're obviously disappointed about? Yes, the head is something that people were a bit disappointed about. I'm a big fan of King Brod. awesome. I'll definitely be buying that one. When are the dates for the Zench Battle Tome? One, I can't tell you. Two, it's not announced, but we know that it's going to happen by the end of, did they say you're always in the reverse summer, whatever reverse season we're in. So it's meant to be soonish. Summer. Yeah, summer. So, whoops. So you get it in summer sometime. So that's when Lumineth and the Zench stuff would be happening. And we got Harris. All right. Horace. Much appreciated. I can't wait to be in the car with you for 3 hours. I'm sure you're going to harass the crap out of me. No, big fan. And thank you for everyone who joined the stream, by the way. It's always a surprise. We don't know what's coming up. And it's always interesting, especially because they're never just one specific system. So they've shown us off a little bit. If I kind of summarize what I saw, I think all of the models are cool. And I'm not trying to say this because like I'm some GW fanboy. I think generally they're quite cool. If I played 40K, which I don't play 40K. I do like Khorne and the Berserker, the World Eaters type stuff are very cool. I don't play Ogres. I like the shooting thing. I can see that some people don't like the head of, and I get that. But I guess a lot of the challenge is that this is going to be hidden in a lot of boxes. So there's going to be a little bit longer of a wait until you, if you don't buy these FOMO boxes.
Spend some of your time with us. There's more than 14,000 of you currently in the chat.
Right, I'm just listening just in case they don't drop something else. League of Alternus, you 40K fans, if you've been waiting for squats to be re-released, that's really cool. Again, not for my thing. I'd be curious to see if you guys kit bash them into KO. I think that'd be quite exciting, especially those foot troop being brought into like alternative Arcanauts. And I'm just listening just in case.
The Book and Box Games teams and everywhere who's made all these things for me to talk about. We will see you again very soon. Good night.
All right. So there's no secret reveal. No secret reveal. So we are done. I'm going to go to work. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was a bit of fun. It was a bit of commentary that you wouldn't be able to interact with on the Twitch stream if you joined the Warhammer chat. So if you want to talk about this, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of discussion. The link will be down below in either this video or other videos. We have a Discord, a very active Discord, over 5,000 AOS players. So come in, have a chat. Let's talk a bit more about the reveals, what we saw, what we like, what we don't like, what we expect, what we're kind of guessing, what comes up after the Slaves book. Who knows? But thank you, everyone. I'm going to go to work now, and I'm going to work through my lunch break because I did this stream before work. But thanks, everyone, for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this stuff comes out sooner rather than later because I bloody want King Brod. But I am disappointed that Gitz didn't get anything. So not RIP Gitz just yet, but Harris Heresy. All right, I'll chat to you all in Discord. I'll see you all later. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for everyone hanging out. Appreciate your time.